Hello, my beautiful Cancers. Welcome back to Queen Cup Tarot. Just shuffling up and smudging and whatnot, getting ready to do your April 2019 tarot readings. For those that are new, welcome. Please like, share, subscribe. For those that are returning, thank you. You guys really know how to show up and show out for a girl, and your support has been overwhelming. For those that have reached out to me on Instagram and via email and have booked personal readings with me, thank you. Connecting with you guys is amazing. It really is. And yeah, I apologize for the delay. For those that have been with me from the beginning, you guys know that I won't read unless I'm centered and feel like I can. I'm empathic. So I've been going through a jam-packed last couple of weeks and energetically, so I've reclaimed my energy, feeling centered, and want to reconnect and be able to do these readings for you guys again. So I'm going to get them out. So thank you for your patience, as always, guys. Somebody please timestamp the reading prior to the prayer. Thank you for those that always do. Want to shout out Yasmin, who is my new frankincense supplier, located out... I'm sorry, guys. I really fucked up my face today, or a couple days ago. It looks so bad, but I can't put makeup on it. I just want to leave it alone. But anyways, I want to shout out Yasmin. She's going to be supplying my frankincense for my smudge kits, which I'm working on getting out to you guys. And I'm going to include her details, because if you guys want to buy the frankincense in bulk, because she does import it directly from Somalia, you guys can reach out to her directly, because all I'm going to be selling at this time is the smudge kits. Okay, and there's starter smudge kits that have 2 different frankincense, myrrh, a Palo Santo stick, and some charcoal, and a sage bundle. Okay, so yeah, I will keep you guys posted on when that will be available, and probably next month I'll have the details for that. Okay, so yeah, I think we're ready to go into prayer. Oh yeah, a couple of tarot readers I have been watching, same ones as I mentioned in the other videos this week. Mana for the weeklies, Saltwater Heals for the dailies, Water Baby Tarot, Angelic Guidance, Ascensions, or Angelic Ascensions. Anyways, those are the ones, the main ones that I've been resonating with. But the Saltwater Heals Daily Tarots, though, that she's been using the sensual, sexual tarot deck. Oh my god, this shit is hilarious. But she be channeling messages in real time. Anyways, those are just a few I've been watching, guys, so feel free to check them out. Positive vibes only. And I do want to thank you guys for all of the positive energy that you do send to me and us tarot readers. You know, it really does help us battle the negative energies that we receive. So for those that sent me your negative energy, I received that. Thank you. You're fucking weak. But yeah, but the love that I receive, it trumps all of that, all the negativity. So I thank you guys, truthfully. But yeah, let's get into prayer. Father God, Holy Spirit, ancestors, guardian angels, thank you for your unconditional love and guidance. Thank you for rising me up out of my bed this morning. Thank you for connecting me with the collective every day. I ask that you allow me to connect to the energies of the general collective for Cancer, and allow me to translate and communicate to them the messages that are in their greatest good, surrounding their material abundance, sustenance, the relationships closest to them, their personal ascension and development, and any other messages that you deem worthy at this time. Thank you, Father God, ancestors, Holy Spirit, guardian angels, for all your love, guidance, and support. We're absolutely nothing without you. Amen. All right, guys, let's get in there. This is for my Cancerians for April 2019. Going into the beginning of May for you guys. Your overall energy for this 9-card spread is knowledge. This is also the card of travel. So some of you guys might be planning actual plane, train, automobile travel. If not, this is the realms that you travel when you seek knowledge and gain it. You know, you really can travel the different dimensions the more you research and the more you expose your mind to different realms of knowledge. It's where it's movement. It's movement. It's going from Literally in this picture, one planet to another, you know. Some of you might be moving literally from one state or country or province to another or city to another. But really good overall energy. This is air energy, which is the Six of Swords. All right. Wow, another six right out of the gate. Six of Earth, which is success. Eight of Air, Eight of Swords, interference. And number four, the Emperor. I believe this is Taurus energy, but yeah, the Emperor. So right out of the gate, what I'm seeing here is some of my Cancers might be struggling a little bit to take. Some of my Cancers are experiencing interference with their ascension. Some of my Cancers are struggling with taking a really firm stance on what they know is in their best interest and going to bring them forward. Some of my Cancers are struggling with getting the downloads about what way is most successful for them. Some of my Cancers are experiencing a moment of disconnect with a divine masculine. You know, the Emperor here is the father of the tarot deck. It is divine masculine energy. If it's not referring to your own masculine energy, that authoritative A-type, you know, pragmatic, action-oriented leadership energy, then it can be referring to a masculine energy. And if it is, then there might be a little bit of interference mentally or feeling trapped with regards to how to gain success and move forward with this energy. Right? Maybe this energy lacks emotional availability or exchange. As you can see in this, the Emperor is very cold, colorless, you know. So yeah, that's just the first three cards out. Deception under success. In the middle of your spread is change. And then the Wheel of Fortune. Then the Four of Earth, the Devil, and the Moon. This is a bit of a tough one, guys, for my Cancers, you know. But what's beautiful is that the overall energy is speaking of moving away or moving out of a certain type of energy. In the beginning of your spread is change. So it's making an act, it's taking all the information and researching all the information required to plan the travel into a new space. This is the strategy and the planning surrounding change that is being prompted by the Wheel of Fortune to happen. This wheel is prompting this change, and a lot of my Cancers are feeling this energy and formulating the strategy on how to execute that said change. A lot of my Cancers are understanding the karmic cycles that they've been a part of and on, and wanting to disconnect from them regardless of what's to come. It's knowing, it's almost like some of my Cancers are saying, I don't care where I'm going. I just got to get the fuck away from here energetically. And I like that energy because it doesn't matter where you're going. If this is where you're at, it doesn't even fucking matter. Just go. Detach and go. And a lot of my Cancers are going to stabilize themselves coming May to really detach themselves from some energies that have been holding them back. A lot of my Cancers are literally hopping from one karmic wheel to another in the next 3 weeks to 3 months. That's what this change is. It's moving from one karmic cycle to another. I mean, life is a series of karmic cycles, right? It just seems that the deception and the interference, the deception surrounding this Emperor has probably been some of you are questioning That's what that is. Some of my Cancers are questioning. So some of my Cancers have a vision of success for themselves, possibly surrounding a person or even an employer. The Emperor can be an employer. And some of my Cancers are wondering if they deceived themselves in thinking they wanted something or thinking there was success in something. And what this interference could be is the divine having you reevaluate that, reevaluating what your idea of success is, or reevaluating if your idea of success is actually applicable with this employer or with this person. Right? So the interference is you're kind of trapped. Some of you are trapped in an idea of success, and you got to break out of that because that idea of success has been robbing you, okay, of probably the emotional fulfillment that you want or even the financial gain that you're looking for. It's like, I believe I'm supposed to be this, or I believe they are supposed to be this. It's like you're trapped in these beliefs. Now, some of you, though, okay, might have shared your idea of success or your plan or your road to success with some people, a social group or something like that. And if you look at this card, this is you. You're the only bird going forward. All these other birds are trying to distract you because they're not going in the same direction. And then as I say that, I draw all these cards, which is a distraction, right? That's funny to me. It's funny to me. Okay. Yeah, like I was saying, this is the only bird that's going straight. This is you. And if you look, these birds don't look like you. They're not going where you're going, and they're trying to interfere. So be very careful with sharing your ideas of what you believe is successful, because this interference could be simple doubt. You know, if you're talking to somebody about your ideas of successes, your journeys and your plans, and then, you know, that person says, well, that's a fucking dumb idea, or that's not possible, or I know somebody who tried that and that didn't work, or whatever. Or even just your own internal negative thoughts, pessimistic thoughts, you know, paranoid thoughts. They're trying to deter you and distract you because clearly you're on a mission. It's like you know where you're supposed to go, but there is a distraction and there are things interfering with your ability to move forward. Move forward in your plans and ideas and visions of what's successful and how you should move forward. Your efforts, essentially. It's also an investment. Some of my Cancers might be a little bit confused if they're investing their time properly in a career or with a person, really trying to determine if their efforts are being placed properly. And if that's the case, then you need to tap into emotionally what is most fulfilling. You'll come out of that. Now, underneath the success here is deception and change. So some of you are being deceived into not going into a new path. Like I said, if you're expressing yourself to people and they're saying, well, no, that's a dumb idea, or no, and don't do that, you know, and then you internalize this information, you're actually deceiving yourself in thinking that your idea of success isn't actually viable or achievable. And what happens is that stops this change from happening, which the Seven of Air is also known as the cheater card. It's deception, but it can actually take from you. You're taking from yourself. You're deceiving yourself in thinking that your idea of success isn't actually viable. And you're letting other people, exterior or even interior, negative, dark energies interfere with that. Okay? Interfere with seeing this for what it really is, possibly, whatever it is. Okay. Now, after the Two of Earth is the Wheel of Fortune, right? Again, speaking of change, this change isn't just any type of change. It's almost like, again, you're moving from one karmic cycle to another. So what I believe is that once you make this change, you'll probably not go back on this path again. Like, it's probably not a path you'll revisit. So, but I see a lot of Cancers allowing that change to happen and then restabilizing themselves, or understanding that in order for this, it's almost like the idea of change will come to you. So if a lot of you have been wanting change and wanting to make a change or wanting to gain certain success in your life, understanding that is bedded and rooted in you. It's seeds you plant in yourself, and that everybody does have this emperor energy in them. That is that leadership approach to your own life, that authoritative approach to your own life, delegating yourself where you need to be in order to achieve what it is you want. Instead of delegating to other people, do this, you go internally and say, okay, so we need to do this today, and we're going to get this done today. And you're governing over your life experience just like this emperor is over his empire. Okay, and maybe the interference is how to successfully do that, maybe successfully create that. You know, some of you are even just questioning. I see a lot of my Cancers questioning their ability to, not questioning their ability to succeed. It's interference about how to get it done and what the best approach is. But like I said, with that deception card, a lot of my Cancers are deceiving themselves in thinking that there is success somewhere where there isn't. And if that's the case, then it's somewhere, it's something you've done before. You saw success. It's you needing to change your idea of what success is to you. Because some of my Cancers have been deceiving themselves in those thoughts. Now, with the Four of Earth, the Devil, and the Moon. So going into May, that's really big energy, and that's probably a lot to do with the actual change that happens. It's like the winds of change start blowing, and you start feeling these wheels turning, and then you start to stabilize yourself in order to prepare. So the Four of Earth is like keeping to yourself, keeping really tight. And I see a lot of you knowing that something can't come with you. And this is a big one. This is knowing that this change and success is highly linked to each other. But it's almost like to maximize the success, to get yourself from the 6 to the 10, it's like your vision expands and you know that there's a disconnect or a detachment that needs to occur, or that you actually take. Maybe that is even just the codependency of telling people about what it is you're doing. And like making changes or not needing the opinions of everyone in order to have enough confidence to make certain changes. Because like I said, I'm getting the energy that there are certain people around Cancer that is trying to interfere with their plans or their ideas of success. And it doesn't have to be super malicious. It could just come from a place where they think you're dreaming too big because they don't envision that for themselves. You know, and then that's going to interfere with you thinking, maybe am I a bit crazy? Am I being overzealous? Am I being, you know, it's like, no. You have certain visions, okay? Take the steps necessary to execute them. Take the leadership emperor approach, okay? And understand that there is interference, but you can completely curve that. Like this bird is curving these other birds. Okay. Identify what is for you, identify what is in your best interest, but identify what is, are you going to listen to these other birds? How can these other birds, these other people interfere with you and they're not even going in your direction? Who knows if they even have a desire to? They might be just roaming around this little patch of the sky. Meanwhile, you are like full steam ahead in a certain direction. And instead of these people using the strength to go with you in that direction, they rather just stop you and keep you there. Maybe they have their own codependencies to you. Maybe Cancers are stabilizing themselves and detaching themselves from certain codependencies that they allow onto them for their own codependency reasons. You know. Some of my Cancers I'm getting the energy, some of my Cancers are very afraid about embarking, moving forward due to certain carnage they've experienced in their life. It's almost like some of my Cancers believe that maybe their experience is predominantly dark and only experience a bit of light, but that is exactly what the devil was fucking with you to do. Wanted you to experience your life that way, thinking that the dark experience would always overshadow the light, and detaching yourself from poverty consciousness or a victim mentality, because that is a codependency, that is a chain that the devil will keep you to, and will try to interfere with you converting your darkness into light. Because we all know that full moon comes every 28 days. Some of you guys are really, some of my Cancers are realizing where that devil energy had deceived you and stopped you from creating change. Sometimes I think some of my Cancers over the past, 5 or 10 years thought that they were making change when really they were just experiencing different parts of the same karmic cycle. And now have a full understanding of that karmic cycle, but because they thought they were interpreting it as change, they're afraid, okay, to embark on anything new out of feeling like they're tricked again, or feeling like there's a misperception here, needing to understand that this karmic experience has been fulfilled, meaning you have gone around the ring. You were never supposed to win or lose anything. You were just supposed to go through the whole experience. God, your angels knew what your perspective would be at the end of that karmic cycle. That's why there's another karmic cycle waiting, because they're connected. So like I said, a lot of Cancers are moving from one karmic cycle to another. All right. It's in transition, which is why I believe a lot of the Cancers watching are taking this Emperor approach to handle and manage said transition, doing it with a little less emotion and a little bit more of authority. Cancers know how they feel, but it's like, are you really going to love yourself to back that up and take an authoritative approach and say, no, my ideas of success are viable? Okay, and I have all the skills and capability to execute said success, and I'm not going to let any negative energy, past experiences deter me in thinking otherwise, or stop me from thinking that what I believe is successful can be. This is also interfering with, this is also negative energies trying to tell you have less than you have. It's like this interference is trying to tell you the 5 of Pentacles when you're really the 6. It's like, it's almost like when you're going up this mountain, you feel like, you're like, oh my God, we're only this far. It's like, no, you've actually come this far. Is it the glass half full or half open, or half full or half empty? It's a lot of my Cancers need to change the way they look at their experience and their perspective of it, and what they've done and where they've gone. And instead of it being a series of failures and woe is me, I'm a victim, look at it as a series of successful mountains climbed up, ascended, and descended. There's experience there. Your body becomes more strong. Your mind becomes more strong. You become more experienced of the terrain. It's success. Okay, so being able to identify the success that you've already achieved in your life is going to help you make tangible goals and keep elevating up, keep achieving success, small or large, right? And not letting this interference stop you on this mountain and just stand there. Okay, because I think this deception is not sinister. It's like, it's you deceiving yourself because you're taking in someone else's pessimism, someone else's doubt, someone else's verbal abuse, and then you believe it and you take it, and then you tell yourself that this isn't achievable. So needing to change that. Some of my Cancers, the simple message is needing to change how easily the things people say to you impact you as an empathic, whatever, you know, emotional sign. It's like, okay, like changing that, taking that Emperor approach and changing the ability to be able, the how easy it is for other people to be able to emotionally change your mood. Anyways, let's get some clarification from the Animal Tarot deck. I hope you guys are staying with me here. You know, I'm just spewing off messages. I read a lot. The downloads have been really crazy. That's another reason why I haven't been really reading a lot. The downloads have been really crazy, not just in my personal life, but like people that I've connected to. I'll still get downloads for them. And I'm learning how to manage that, right? It's like mental, spiritual control. Anyway, so bear with me, guys. I hope that these messages are coming to you clearly. I hope they help, and I hope you resonate with them. Okay? Spirit, can I get some clarification here? Ooh, wow. Can I get some that's the Five of Cups, that's sadness. Can I get some clarification here on this interference and this Emperor? The Daughter of Cups, the Hanged Man, the High Priestess, the Star, and the Eight of Wands. So to me, wow. First thing I see is this is the opposite. This is the opposite. This is interference. This is straight downloads. Clear communication, either from the divine, internal, external downloads. These are opposite cards, which tells me that my Cancers can very easily avoid or come out of this mental imprisonment that they're in by gaining a certain level of, let this 8 trump this other one, please. That it's like that 8 needs to be it. It's like, okay. Some of you are healing a relationship. Some of you have been experiencing some interference. Maybe communication, maybe there's been some stagnant or non-existent communication with a masculine energy. It could be a father of your kids or whoever. And there's been a disconnect there. And I think a lot of my Cancers have been hoping that this energy finds a way to successfully build that bridge and bring back the communication. Or maybe the Cancer watching is trying to figure out a way or slowly trek up a plan to open back the lines of communication with a masculine energy. Now, some of my Cancers might be using a little bit of a deceitful way to get back into communication with an Emperor, but really it's just trying to change the circumstance. This could also be the other way around. An Emperor could be using maybe some low-grade deceitful behavior to bring in some kind of change, and I don't know how the Cancer will take that. I don't. It really depends. It's case by case. But if this is, for my Cancers, it's like this Emperor, I believe, is trying to figure out a way. Like I said, this Emperor is very emotionless, very pragmatic. Okay, that's how he became the Emperor, to own an empire. He didn't do that, being emotional. Not that there's anything wrong with emotions, because we have the High Priestess here, and she became the High Priestess being very in touch with emotions, being in the ethers, right? Now, but I believe this Emperor, this masculine energy, is trying to find a new perspective on how to come forward and offer emotion. This could be because the way they did it before didn't work, so they had to gain a new perspective on how to offer the same thing. Or this is gaining a new perspective, okay, and now deciding that moving forward and offering emotion or a message of emotion in some type of way. Like I said, you know, if there was lack of communication between you and this Emperor energy, there's a good chance that the reason why the Eight of Wands came up is because this new perspective was had, this emotional availability bursted open, and then now this line of communication gets reestablished. So I do see the reestablishing of a connection here. The communication, sorry, I don't know what the stat, what that really, I'm just seeing, I see the reestablishing of communication between Cancer and this Emperor. Yeah, right. I see a lot of, this is beautiful energy. This is the Star, this is Aquarius energy, this is the High Priestess. I think it's Piscean energy, Cancer energy. Either way, it's ethereal. It's extreme healing. It's extreme healing through understanding from the highest self. There's nothing earthly about these cards. This is all up here. And it's like, if you're a telephone pole, like I tell people, it's like you're a pole, like a telephone pole. If there's a disconnect here, when those divine messages come in, they can't get to the root chakra because there's a disconnect. That's being healed. I see Cancers going through extreme healing, and I believe with this Emperor energy, I believe with this Emperor energy, this healing's been a long time coming. And I think while there's been this disconnect in communication, there's been a lot of healing that has happened. A lot of reflecting, a lot of understanding of higher self, right? A lot of contemplation on what is the most successful option here. The successful route. I mean, there's lots of ways to climb up this mountain, but there is the easiest or the most successful or the best route, the safest route for everyone embarking. Okay, and I think the reason why the communication wasn't safe is because that had to be established, had to figure out what is the best route to go forward. And I think that is what this Emperor was contemplating, you know, contemplating how to move in a way that this Emperor isn't necessarily very comfortable with, having to gain a new perspective on that, how to gain a new perspective on himself in order to move differently. Maybe a little bit out of his comfort zone, okay? Beautiful energy, beautiful healing energy. I mean, the Emperor using his intuition is amazing. But if this is, you know, you and somebody else, Cancer, that's tough. It's like this Emperor knows that if they want to deal with you, they're going to have to tap into a higher sense of themselves and be a little bit more emotionally forthcoming in order to provide you the healing you need, or for you to be able to provide the Emperor the healing that it needs. Because like I said, with this interference and then clarified by this 8, it's like wanting to clear that up, going from not being clear to being really clear, because the overall goal here is success. It's just these people are very different. Now, if this is you, Cancer, in one person, it's divine. It's like this healing brings you into a sense of power I don't think you've ever felt before. And it's all because you allowed change to occur. Wow! Ace of Swords. The Emperor and the Empress. That's a divine masculine feminine pair. The Moon, again. These just flipped over, so I'm just taking them as I am, okay? The Moon, this is the unknown. Embarking into the unknown. Because the devil tried to tell you that there was nothing but the boogeyman and horrible things in here, so you never embarked. You didn't. You didn't allow yourself to. But Cancer's saying, no, fuck that, because nothing is scarier than where this motherfucker's taken me. So what we're gonna do today is embark on an unknown. Because what I do know, it's carnage. Allow yourself to roam in these meadows. Allow yourself to be free. fearlessly. Amazing. Then we've got the Ace of Pentacles. And we've got the Mother of Swords underneath in reverse. So some of my Cancers might entertain something they cut off before. You know, or be presented with something you disconnected yourself from or disengaged. It might resurface, or some of my Cancers are going to be revisiting the idea of something they cut off before, maybe wondering if they did it too hastily, maybe wondering if they should have thought it through a little bit more, used a little bit more of their emotions, because a lot of Cancers will take on this energy, especially the Cancers who have really shut down their emotions. They come off as very much Mother of Swords energy, right? And maybe when this opportunity came in the first time, that was your disposition. But it's like now it's either being represented to you and you're not trying to look at it that way, or you're revisiting it in your mind. Maybe during Mercury retrograde, it came back up and you're deciding, you're revisiting that. Then we've got the Four of Swords. Some of you are healing from a cheater. Some of you are healing from somebody who came into your life really fast and then decided. Some of you are in healing and contemplation about somebody who rushed into your life really quickly, but now is indecisive about how to proceed with you. Some of my Cancers are feeling very vulnerable about this person who's coming in or who came in passionately and then is now displaying a sense of, I don't know. Your card, the last one to flip over here, it's Cancerian energy. It's moving forward. So for those that are waiting for someone to pick them or make themselves available to them, Cancers deciding to move forward regardless. It could be because a new opportunity is presented to you, or it could be for the simple fact that you feel that this energy was actually the devil energy holding you back in some way. So completely releasing yourself and moving forward, stabilizing yourself as an individual, becoming quite stingy with your time, your resources, only in your best interest. It's almost like knowing you're going on a new karmic cycle, so you need to be packed up and ready, and you need to have enough resources required to embark in this new beginning. Whether it's moving, whether anything, you need to have the resources. If it's not moving and it's a physical change, if it's emotional, you need to be emotionally capable. You cannot be draining your emotions in old parts of the karmic cycle that have already drained you. You've already gained the lessons. But a lot of us will relive those parts because it's comfortable. We know the outcome. We know how it's going to work out. Again, with the moon twice, there's this sense of the unknown. The unknown. People get real fucked up about this, eh? I don't know. We don't know a lot of shit and still make it into our bed safe at night, okay? Be cool with what you don't know. Gain whatever knowledge you can. But guys, I have a divine pair. Some of you are going to find out the truth about a connection. It's like the Wheel of Fortune already pushed you forward and pushed you forward into your counterpart. But maybe this happened months ago and you weren't sure, and then now come, May, you become sure. Some of you are becoming sure of the divinity of a connection because you think you're sure, and sometimes you are in the way you feel, but reality has to be there. We all have this truth, divine knowledge and truth that's communicated with us with God. And it's like we can't force that to happen. Part of the journey is finding this. It feels so good when you know this, but it's like, anyway, beautiful energy, guys, okay? A lot of healing to take place. I see Some of my Cancers might be putting themselves in a position of, I don't want to say spotlight per se, but maybe being a little bit more seen than usual, right? Because Cancers can be very introverted. So for my Cancers that have been very introverted or a little bit more, or just stuck in their comfort zone, I guess, coming out and being very comfortable in this energy. There's something that's very on display about these cards here, but really good healing energy. Emotional exchange. I see emotional exchange between divine feminine and divine masculine energy for the month of April and May. These are divine masculine and feminine energies, and there's divine timing at play here. Because there's a lot unknown by both the divine masculine and divine feminine in this reading. There's a sense of needing to gain perspective and stop the interference and allow the information, because if this is a divine connection here, then that means the universe is trying to give you information about it. But if your fears, pessimism, and outside forces are interfering with that, it's going to cause a lot of fear surrounding this unknown. It's like, if you let this come in, this moon energy isn't so scary. It's not. Okay. I never doubt that the Ace of Pentacles is a new job opportunity. Anytime I get a new employment contract, I'll pull the Ace of Pentacles. Or a new opportunity to travel. Some of you are actually going to book an excursion. Some of you have some bucket list stuff that I see being planned out again, which I really, really like. Some of you are going to be required to travel for work or move, but that is going to be very worrisome, because for the person I'm speaking to, moving for work is not like a normal thing. Uprooting is not enjoyable. Okay. There'll be a lot of anxiety, but I think for a lot of you that are feeling that energy, it's that knowing to detach from that devil energy. We are free. We all have wings to fly, to roam. This world is for all of us to roam, enjoy, explore. It's like a giant playground for us to go explore. It's us that makes the game nasty and not fun. Okay? And not just us, there's these energies, but they can only offer us to play. They can't make us play. And when we do play, it's like this attachment that gets created to the game, and we're coming out of that. I see a lot of Cancers totally coming out of that. Collectively, we are. You know, there's a lot of large collective energies that are supporting us detaching from this, or at the very least understanding this attachment exists, because there was interference. It was like your angels and guardian angels were trying to tell you where you were attached and how you were deceiving yourself, but it wasn't coming in because of the interference. And then I love how this clarified it. It's literally the opposite. It's like straight downloads coming in. You know what I mean? Straight downloads coming in. And that's what's going to guide the unknown part of your new journey, because anytime you embark on a new cycle, there's that sense of unknown. But so, who cares about that? Just go. Explore, experience, because that's what we were put here to do, is experience life from the highest frequency of all, which is love. Okay, shout out Ramblin' Mike. I'm pretty sure he's the one who says something along those lines. I love him. Granddaddy of Tarot. Anyways, guys, that is actually, I want to pull some Romance Oracle here, because we do have a divine pair on the deck. I mean, on the two divine masculine feminine energies. It could even just be understanding what that looks like to you. Maybe understanding that you are a divine feminine counterpart, and then turning around and finding it. You know, Some of you understanding that you weren't meant to be alone and that there was a partner that you were going to find, but you had to find it in yourself. Flirt, extend your lighthearted energy again for those that are coming out of that like hermit mode or that shell mode or that introverted kind of mode, having a desire to want to extend this lighthearted energy. Just be careful about talking too much about your plans. Do not talk about sensitive, vulnerable plans, setting yourself up in a position to have it, you know, negatively impacted by somebody else. You know, be sure in your plans before you discuss them. Do not be codependent in needing people to co-sign your shit all the time. Okay? New love. You do not need people to co-sign this. Okay? Establish for you if this is even a connection you want before you go and get the opinions of everybody else. Because other people are going to interpret this new love in different ways. It's your new love. Figure out what you want to do with it before you get the peanut gallery involved, please. Okay. And then lastly, retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. So when you do merge with this person, this divine masculine feminine energy, allow yourself to disconnect, connect on your own, and then emerge. You need to give yourself time, okay, from the world to establish what it is you have here, what it is you want to do, who it is you are. There's a certain level of disconnecting from the world that needs to happen. Now, the high priestess doesn't have a problem with that. Her problem is to connect back to the world once she's gone because she loves it up there. But the emperor can get very attached to earthly sense. So, you know, what's funny here is I see this high priest. It's like this emperor energy. For my divine feminines watching that are connecting with this masculine energy, it's like really pulling up the Hierophant in him, because it's like the feminine is coming out very balanced, right? With her earthly, you know, wisdom, but her ethereal, where the emperor is still coming off very worldly and emotionally disconnected. There's going to be healing that takes place, but there's going to be a need to retreat, so that both people feel safe to do so. Okay? Really beautiful energies, guys. And then at the bottom, okay, this is going into May. It's soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate, you know? But guys, you should feel that. You should know it and feel it. Not one or the other. Okay? So enjoy spring, guys. Be safe. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for being patient. I know I'm not consistent with this. I'm trying to. I really am. But I'm empathic. And if I don't feel it, I can't do it. Sometimes I'll sit here and record it like 15 times and then be like, I can't. It's not, right? Because they're collective. I'm connecting to so many of you. I'm not complaining. I'm grateful for it because I can feel you. I get a lot of healing energy from you guys, whether you're aware or not. So please keep up with the positive energy and positive vibes. I'm sending it back to you. Continue to let your inner angel live until the next time I see you guys. Bye.